Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to the very first Share the Mic. It is lunch and listen time, as I should have maybe called it instead of Share the Mic, because it is time for you to go sit there, make a sandwich, and just listen in to this fantastic conversation that's going to happen hopefully between myself and Daisha Waddup from Social Treats. Now, I've known Daisha for 3 years, I want to say. We met at the Facebook convention. Facebook kindly flew us all over to Dublin, and we had the most amazing time courtesy of Facebook. Now, since then, Daisha has gone on to have a phenomenal link with Facebook, and now I call you a master trainer, but I don't think it's quite that name. But she's
basically trainer, yeah.
You said what? Sorry.
Lead trainer for Facebook.
Lead trainer. I prefer the term master. I'm going to call you a master lead trainer for Facebook, which means what she doesn't know about Facebook is not worth knowing. Now, not only that, Daisha is also our very own social media expert for The Den. Now, she comes in to my members and does a Q&A every other month, and just shares her knowledge with my members. So she's well known to us Den members, maybe not to everybody else out there. But Daisha, I've done a brief overview. Tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get in on the questions.
Yeah, so I am a social media and business coach. I help service-based entrepreneurs to scale their business, get visible, get online, and start making sales. I don't like buzzwords. I've heard so many different things over the past few weeks, especially people making words up recently and calling it something cool. Marketing should generate you sales, and that is what I am passionate about, is getting you some more sales, getting you business, and getting you visible.
Amazing. So thank you. Let's jump straight into it because, right, what is going on with Facebook? Since they have had this update to Facebook 0.5, it is driving me insane. It's driving many of us insane. Now, as the woman in the know with the inroad to those in the know in the Facebook world, please tell us what is going on.
Well, I think they're trying to make changes for the good, right? They're trying to do things for us as individuals and people. They've not necessarily made it that useful for marketeers and business owners. And that is for a number of reasons. There are things happening between Facebook and Apple where they're clashing and not talking to each other, which has caused us issues. There's also so much going on in the political sphere that Facebook are always in the head of. So they're trying to stop being in the front four lines. So they're trying to work so hard to protect themselves as well on all of these fronts that it's kind of backfired and nothing works. There's a new thing this week in the UK. It's just rolled out. I haven't seen it on my phone yet, but there's a news button on your Facebook app and page. It's not on mine yet, so I keep looking, but they announced on Monday that it was going to roll out this week in the UK. And what that does is that goes to actual news sites. So they're trying to stop the spread of false news and start creating actually curated news content from real news sources on Facebook, and trying to stop you going elsewhere. Obviously, they want you to stay in the app. So there are a lot of things that they are doing that they do have our best interest at heart as individuals, but they are kind of making it a bit hard for marketeers at the same time.
It just seems to be so glitchy, and there seems to be so many changes. I think to be honest, I think they're going to be putting a lot of people off, and they'll be jumping to other platforms. Clubhouse has just made a huge leap into the forum, and the audio is becoming very much the way to to digest the information rather than read it, is my take on it. I mean, for many years, it's been that video has been the go-to thing for Facebook, and it's been getting the higher reach, and it's been getting all of this. We know this. This is why Reels has come in. I did my first Reel today.
Yay!
Get me. Finally jumped on that bandwagon. But yeah, so audio is a big part of it. We know how popular podcasts are and all the rest of it. But I think Facebook are alienating a lot of people at the moment, and they are jumping ship, is my feeling.
Yeah, but I read an article that like $10 of every $100 at least is spent online in marketing is spent on Facebook. Yeah, which is incredible when you think about the budgets of where everybody can be spending their money. So yes, I know that some people feel like they're jumping ship and they're like, I've had enough, but people always come back. They always come back. And Facebook isn't going anywhere, which is something that I hear from people all the time. Like, I had somebody last year, well, I know that Facebook is on its way out. And I was like, all right, where did you hear that from? Whatever. And they're like, well, so-and-so said it. I'm like, well, so-and-so is lying. And that's the bottom line, right? Facebook isn't going anywhere. It's always going to be a base platform for us to start marketing. It doesn't have to be the only platform that we use. And there are so many more, like you said, Clubhouse is doing fantastic things at the moment. I have my thoughts on Clubhouse, which we can come to later. But they're doing so many things. Like we've got YouTube, Instagram. There are so many different platforms, LinkedIn as well, that you can start to get more organic reach on than you possibly would within Facebook. So that is a platform as well that you can get more reach on.
Yeah. I'm going to jump to one of the questions that, because it sort of relates to what we're talking about now. I was going to ask you later on. I read an article about how now that President Biden is in America, that he's going after Mark Zuckerberg because they do not have a good relationship at all. And they think that there's going to be this Biden-Zuckerberg war going on, whereby somehow the president is going to have this big effect on Facebook because they think Facebook have this monopoly by buying up WhatsApp, Instagram, and all the rest of it. Given that we're sort of talking about that, whether Facebook is going away or not, do you think that that's just news? And do you think that they're going to try and ruffle a lot of feathers for Facebook?
I think it's not going to make any difference. Zuckerberg has been in the White House for years anyway, like going through his white papers on cryptocurrency and the Facebook page, the Facebook Pay and all of that type of stuff. And it's almost, if you take a step back, it almost seems discriminative to poor Zuckerberg. I know he has a massive empire, but nobody else who's created a cryptocurrency has had to go into the White House and justify themselves. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the poor guy, everybody else who created these cryptocurrencies is still selling them on the black market and everybody's mining them. And everyone's like, yeah, that'd be right. But Mark gets wiped up on the White House. Like, oh no. Like, what are you doing? You're not allowed. You're only allowed to stay in your lane. Go back over there.
Everybody else is allowed to earn billions of dollars, but not you, Mark.
Yeah, not you. So go back over there. So I think it's nothing new to him that the presidents are going to come after him again. The last ones have, the ones before that have. It won't be anything new, and I don't think it will change anything massively. Every year that a new president comes in, they go, we're going to go after Facebook. And everyone goes, yeah. Oh, no. And then nothing happens. So...
Fair enough. Love the straight talking. That's what this Lunch and Listen is all about. Let's just go straight to the point. Right. So what are the big changes then that Facebook have brought in? I mean, you've talked a little bit about it already, about, this new news feed that's going to come through and all the rest of it. But what has Facebook 0.5 really made a difference to for us?
Yeah, so there's going to be a massive shift in what your business page looks like. Again, I haven't seen that in the flesh yet, which is going to be interesting. But your likes are going away. So there's going to be no more likes. There's only going to be follows. I have a feeling that your business page is going to be structured more like your personal page, because they're having a curated news feed. You can follow people and you can follow other businesses from your business page. And we know that your personal page gets more reach and does better than your business page. So I think they're trying to make the business pages more personal so that people have got those better touch points with businesses. And that is what they're with the communities and pushing everything towards being social again. And I have this argument so often where people are like, social media is not social. I'm like, well, then you're not doing it right, because it should be. It should be social. It should be about connecting with people. It should be about having conversations. It should be about generating interesting topics of communication and creating those communities. And I think with the way that they're structuring their business pages and putting massive pushes onto Facebook communities, they are bringing back that social element. And people are catching on to it. I know that Facebook groups, for example, recently have had a massive surge of bots trying to join groups and spam them, which was never an issue before. But I think because Facebook has put a massive emphasis on groups, and all these spammers are like, oh, well, let's go and cause some trouble there. So like had a massive influx of spammers in groups where I'm like, oh, go away. It's not off. Get out of my group. They don't. You can tend to see them if you do have a group and you tend to see the invites. They don't usually answer the questions, or they say yes to all the questions. And then the first thing, I had some people in my group recently, and they all seemed okay on entry, and then they all asked the exact same question. So 3 different people asked the exact same question in the group, and then was sending everybody to this link. And when I looked on each 3 of their profiles, all of them had the same banner image on each of their profile. And I was like, all right, out you go. Get out. But you're seeing more and more of this as some people in the industry and in the marketing industry are outsourcing a lot of things to VAs, and that's how they're doing it, which is annoying.
It's very annoying. I mean, I know we're talking Facebook, but I mean, I've been bombarded recently from Instagram. The whole DM me, I can do this and I can do that. I can make a thing, this and that, and all the rest of it. And I'm just like, and spam.
Yeah.
They are very, very annoying. I mean, I'm quite protective about my group as to who I let in, which is why I've got all the questions there, which people do answer, and then you end up going in. But sometimes people they go through the gaps, or, they end up, not doing what the rules should say, and then starting to DM people outside of the group, or they're spamming it with stuff that shouldn't be in the group. And then it's like, get out. We don't want you in there.
Yeah.
The joy of Facebook, I guess, you can go and block.
Yeah, I get asked so often. I'm like, it's your group, your rules. If you don't like somebody, just kick them out. It's like your house. I don't like you anymore. Get out. Go. Go find someone else.
Go. So tell me then, so I know they're rolling out all these changes, but why is not everybody got the same features? There's like, what is going on there? Because some people got this, some people got that. What's going on?
Yeah, so it's beta testing. Basically, they're trying to work out what is actually going to work. So like with every business, and you have to figure out what's going to work, right? You have to go, we're going to test it on this number of people. And if it fails, we can just go, and just quietly change it back. And that Facebook is no different, right? So they have to test these things on a different cross section of people. So they're picking people in different countries. And then once that's okay, they'll pick another country and pick some different people. And they're just basically testing everything that's going to work before they make a solid decision. So we knew before they rolled out what Facebook is now, that was a nightmare because everybody had different Facebooks. And I run some training for a client of mine, and his clients are all over the world. And our group coaching sessions was basically me just going, just share your screen, because I don't know what version of Facebook you've got, and then I can tell you where buttons are and what to do. Because and trying to explain to somebody, and then they're like, my button's not there. I'm like, oh, I don't know what version of Facebook you've got. Just share your screen. I'll show you where it is. And it was a nightmare for coaching for people like me, where there's all over the world, people just see about 10 different versions. But Facebook were just learning and figuring out what works and what didn't work. Like there was a while that on Facebook pages, when you transferred to the new one, the story you used to have there, you couldn't access it anymore. So I couldn't access my story, but somebody who was on the old version of Facebook could still see my story on my Facebook business page. So it was just, I was like, it's almost false marketing, because I was like, can't access it to change it if I wanted to. So now everybody's just reading the old story. Great. But now everybody's got the same. At least nobody can see it. Oh, can't change it anyway.
It's so frustrating. I know I was spending a lot of time trying to dig more into Facebook, and unfortunately I chose the time just at the point where they were going from the old to the new, and I was just like, oh my god. And then of course you've got Business Manager, and then you got Business Suite, and then you got Facebook Creator Studio, and then you were just like, which one should I be using? Which one am I on? And then they've got a different one if you sell things in your shop. They've got the commerce one. And it just, for me, it feels very heavy at the moment. You know, like you can schedule, you know, everything now. And, you know, the Creator Studio, you can post stuff up on IGTV and all the rest of it. I love that usability, but I'm often asked, Business Suite or Facebook Creator Studio? I'm more of a fan of Business Suite for its ease of use, but Creator Studio has more functionality. So it's a little bit like, which one of these do I need now? We just like put it all in one place, Facebook, for me. Do they have an intention of doing that? So like Commerce and Manager and Suite and Creator Studio and everything else they've got goes into one?
What they have tried to do is make everything super accessible for everybody. So if you look at it at levels, like a Business Suite is the easiest thing to use. So that's why they've created that, for those that just need something to use to manage their business. Creator Studio is sort of the next level. And for people that just want to post on their Facebook page, it's probably a little bit excessive. So they're like, you can use the Business Suite. But if you're going to do complicated stuff like load things into IGTV and have all sorts of things happening, then you're going to need the Creator Studio, which is sort of the next level up. So they've tried to make it easy for people, but they've just confused everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. They've tried to simplify it. So I never use the Business Suite, ever. Because for me and what I do on Facebook, I'm like, I can't do anything on it. It's too simple. Whereas if you're just posting, it's fine. But I always use Creator Studio. And that's where I hang out if I'm doing things on Facebook and scheduling things. And I love it for being able to schedule the IGTVs and that sort of stuff as well. That is great. Yeah. And it's the only way to schedule directly onto your Facebook page now anyways. So you can no longer do it on Facebook page, which is annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. But once you get used to it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah. I discovered the other day, because I was using, because I was uploading IGTV stuff, but I was doing it on the day. Because I do a recap, I go live in my business group on a Tuesday. And then I record a really short, quick 2-minute video to say, this is what we did. Because I find that easier than going in and re-editing it. Yeah. And then I upload that to IGTV. So because I was only doing it on the day, I was just doing it from my phone. It wasn't a problem. But then, of course, the other day I wanted to schedule something. And then I was like, right. And then I had posts on Business Suite. And then I had posts on Creator Studio. And I was like, right, did I tick that? Have I scheduled? And I go back to, have I scheduled that? Well, yes, I have scheduled. Back to this one. I was like, oh, goodness sake, why can't they just? So, yeah, I am migrating to Creator Studio so that they're all in one place so that I can see them. Because a Creator Studio won't show if you schedule something on Business Suite, it won't show up in Creator Studio.
Yeah, so just pick one and do that.
Yeah.
Then
thanks, Facebook. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about engagement. I know this is a big problem with people at the moment. They're doing all this work. They're posting on Facebook or they're posting on Instagram and all the rest of it. And people are just not seeing the posts. Have you got any help there for us at all?
Okay. So on Instagram, you need to be engaging on Instagram to increase your following a lot. So I was talking to an influencer the other day who's got over 100,000 followers on Instagram. And she says she spends at least an hour a day just engaging on Instagram to increase the reach of her posts. Yeah, I was like, holy cow, I don't have that much time in my life. I was like, okay, maybe I need to aim less. I don't need 100,000 followers. That's fine. I don't need to.
I'll go with 10. It's fine.
Yeah, I always says Mel Robbins did a thing where you fast forward your goals. If I got to 100,000 followers, what do I have? What would I have had to have done to get there? I'm like, yeah, I don't need 100,000 followers because I don't have time to spend an hour a day on Instagram. It's fine. But if you can spend 10 minutes while you're making your coffee or 10 minutes whilst you're dropping the kids off at school when they were allowed to go outside the house, and throughout the day and just spend 10, 15 minutes here and there, engaging, that will massively help your reach. So although I schedule my posts on Instagram, I try to make sure that I engage around the time that my post is going out. So I'm engaging with people that have already followed me that are in my newsfeed. I'm trying to go onto hashtags and engage with new accounts or follow new accounts, and engage with completely. I try to go to my competitors or people that target the same people as me and follow their followers as well, or engage on some of their comments and stuff. So I try and do that around the time that my post is going out on Instagram, so that then Instagram's like, she's active and posting, so it's going to go up and get more reach. With Facebook, the thing with a business page is on average, it's going to get 4% reach of your followers on your business page. So the trick here is to make sure that it is something that people want to share or comment on. And generally, this is stuff that people resonate with or think is cute. So with dance teachers, you can tag parents' kids in it. Parents of kids. Yeah, that's the word.
It's the parents rather than the kids, because they shouldn't be on with the kids, but yeah, the parents.
Yeah, you can tag them in the comments or in a post. You could share something that parents find funny or would resonate with, because that's one of the key things is, yes, ideally if you're attracting kids or you want kids in your dance studio, they're not the ones that are going to be scrolling through Facebook. So it has to be content that is attractive to the mums, usually maybe dads, and that they want to share. So if you can create content that is attractive to them and funny to them, then that will get shared out. As beautiful as dancers are, and when they see dancing, parents aren't going to share that because they're like, well, my kid's not in it, and yeah, it's pretty dance, but what's it to do with me? So it's about thinking of what is my ideal audience gonna like and share on Facebook that they will resonate with, and often that's not what you actually want to post. So get clear on who the target audience is and start creating content for that person specifically, and mix it in with your dancing content and your other content and your kids content and all the other good things that you've got. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Totally. I remember doing a question once about what was, if you're stuck on a desert island with only the contents of the top of your fridge, what have you got to survive on? And the answers that came back were hysterical. And most of them included alcohol by all accounts. But things like do include like a Friday night, time for a glass of wine sort of thing. Or I had a Disney meme once that did quite well as well. Actually, that was about how I think it was something along the lines of they don't like Disney anymore because it gives unrealistic views of women, because every time I whistle, the birds don't come and make my bed. Something along those sorts of lines. And that got a very good share as well. But it does come down, I agree with you, it does come down to having really good content. And that takes, unfortunately, time. And that's where dance school studio owners in general have the problem, because they don't necessarily have the time to do it.
You could reuse some of that content. So have you ever reposted that content that got really good engagement and really good shares?
I don't think I have.
No, see, why not?
What a simple thing. I don't think I have, actually, come to think of it. I do repeat certain ones, like my sales posts. I've got a couple that relate to one class, and I'll rotate them. And I do talk to my lot about, repetition. And as a dancer, as a dance teacher, we're all about repetition.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to perfect your plies unless you repeat. And I keep saying to them, it's okay to repeat. But actually, that Disney one, I don't think I've ever repeated. Come to think of it.
See? So you can put these things on schedules to go out all the time, and regularly just repeat things, because the attention span of somebody on social media is less than a goldfish. So they are not going to remember that they saw the post yesterday, let alone last month or 3 months ago. Like, they're not going to remember. So it doesn't matter.
Love that. Did you hear that, guys? Right? Okay, are you listening? It is okay to repeat.
Yeah.
It's okay to repeat. Please do it.
Yeah, exactly. They say that when you're scrolling through your phone, you have 3 seconds. That is the average time that it takes for a picture or an image to pass through at the regular rate of scrolling. So you have 3 seconds to grab that person's attention. And something like a Disney meme is absolutely going to have more chance of doing that, and people will share it or like it or comment on it or tag somebody in it, than something really boring that they're not interested in.
Yeah, definitely. Katie has a quick question here, if you don't mind, and then we'll wrap it up. She said she wants to ask about stories. I'm struggling to keep up with adding new, but feel bad if I use things again. But is that okay? So is repetition in stories okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, your stories last for 24 hours, so nobody's going to remember that they've seen it before, and they can't even access it again afterwards. So yeah, absolutely post stories. You can, and you find any excuse to create stories. Like, I'm going to take a selfie with Sarah after we get off here, and I'm going to post that on my stories. Like, absolutely, there you go. Absolutely everything is story content. It doesn't matter what it is. You're just sharing a little bit of behind the scenes.
I got a nice one of us smiling. There we go. That's brilliant. And then I also find, guys, what I tend to do as well, and this is a little quick one for you as well, is that I'll go into my Facebook. So if I go into my page here, and I will, come on, if it actually scrolls down. Oh, it's showing me our live on my page currently. Thank you very much for that, Facebook. And I'll just take a screenshot of something. So for example, like share the mic. I'll literally screenshot it, and then I'll go in to my photos, edit it down, and then and just post that.
Yeah,
as well. And just things like that. Or if, people post lovely comments. I had a wonderful comment from one of my members on the page the other day, and yeah, just shared that and put that up there as well, because it's quite easy just to screenshot and post as well.
Yeah.
Katie said that's a win for today then. She said, I already took a photo of both of you too. Please do, guys. Take a photo, put it in your stories, tag Daisha on Social Treats. She's at Social Treats. Tag me, Sarah Darnsten. # share the mic. Yes, let's do this. Let's blitz Facebook and Instagram with share the mic. So, oh my gosh, it's already 1:00. It's time to wrap things up. Daisha, I could talk to you all day. Thank you so, so much. Please tell everybody, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can connect with me on Facebook, Dish What Up, or Social Treats. You can join my Facebook group. It's called Get Visible. And you can find it by going to bit.ly/organic and visible, or you can connect with me on Instagram, where you share your beautiful story of my face and I will reshare it for you.
Fantastic. Maybe could you drop in a little link underneath for us and they can join your group? I know I'm in your group and you did some fabulous challenges in there. So it would be, please guys, yes, go over and support Daisha and Social Treats. Interestingly enough, guys, Daisha's not a world away from dance and theatre school owners, because her target market is people in the well-being industry, like yoga and all those sorts of things. So she's got a really good understanding of our industry. So 100%, please head over and give a follow. If you're not already following me, then please follow me as well. Follow me, follow Daisha, and join us next week, please, as we join, as we do another Share the Mic. For Den members, Daisha is with you. Slight change to timetable. She will be with you Thursday next week, not Wednesday. So Daisha will be in for your social media Q&A. We get the pleasure of seeing her every other month. So you're very welcome. Very welcome. Oh yeah, Margaret did one of Bernie and the Mittens. Ooh. Which has been doing its rounds. So she did a post of Bernie and the Mittens, and she superimposed him into his dance studio. Dance studio. It was brilliant, and it's had such an amazing response. So thank you for sharing that one. Right, we are going to wrap it up. You're very welcome, Gillian. I'm glad you could join us today. Thank you again, Daisha. Have a good day, everyone. Take care. Bye.